What is up, everyone? So we are back for another episode of BAM GPG. I'll be your host, Ben.
And I'll be your co-host, Bryson.
And Bryson, today, what we're going to do is we're going to get into the our defensive ends, right, in this year's draft class. So, again, last week we talked about the wide receivers. We weren't active in free agency, so we took a more in-depth look at the draft class this year to see what's available there, see who could possibly replace the production we're going to be missing from Christian Watson this year. So what I want to shift our focus to this week is the defensive side of the ball, in particular the defensive ends, right? So one huge area of struggle for Green Bay this past season was our lack of pass rush. It was non-existent at times, especially down the stretch of the season. Exclude the blitzes, the blitz packages, we weren't winning those battles up front with our defensive ends, as well as our interior defensive linemen. And that's, ranges from Rashawn Gary to Lucas Van Ness, right? So that's, one of the positions we talked about in some earlier episodes that we wanted to address, put some focus on this offseason, through free agencies, through trades. Well, Bryson, none of that's really shaken up. As we've seen, a lot of these guys, sign multi-year contracts with their current team, and the other guys have already been spoken for. So there's not a lot left out there. So we're going to dive in, see what's available in the draft, see which guys can make an impact in Green Bay and help bolster that pass rush that, seemed non-existent again at times last year. So with that, Bryson, I'm going to let you go ahead and dive in, kick it off here with, to kind of backtrack a little bit. So we highlighted four guys, and all four of these guys, maybe the first one might not be, but the other three for sure, which should be available, first round or later for Green Bay if we do choose to go that route. So Bryson, I will let you go ahead and share out your first guy here.
James Pierce Jr.
James Pierce Jr. So take a look at him, Bryson.
Overall grade 87.1, sacks 8, hits 4, hoys 43,
It's fantastic.
pass rush grade 89.4, run defensive grade 84.1, and pass rush win rate 23%. It's not bad.
No, it's not bad. And I think he's got decent size to him too, if I remember right, Bryson.
Yeah.
So he's a good,
He's 6'5", 243 pounds.
6'5", 243 pounds. Great size to him. Might be able to beef up a little bit at the next level, but James Pierce Jr., certainly a great talent out of Tennessee. He may be available. I could see him possibly going a little bit earlier than what we pick in the first round. He may be a guy if, Green Bay's really high on him, they're sold on him, maybe a guy that you can trade up a few spots to snag in the first round there if that's who you're looking for. I like his grades on the season, Bryson. Again, he got 89.4, 84.1 on the run defense. What I like is this pass rush win rate, 23%. You look at some of the other edge rushers that are 1-2 in this year's draft class, Mike Green, Abdul Carter. They're right around the 22, 23% there as well. So I like that number a lot. And as you highlighted, kind of got excited about there, 43 hurries on the quarterback this year. So he's getting to the quarterback. He's putting pressure on him. I like James Pierce Jr. a lot out of Tennessee. Absolutely. So the next guy that I want to share out here for you, Bryson, let me pull it up here, is going to be Donovan Ezruco. So he is a defensive end from Boston College. He graded out at a 90 this year, Bryson. He had 14 sacks, 20 hits, a little bit less than Hurts, but still pretty respectable number at 26. And his pass rush grade on the season was a 90.5. His run defensive grade was an 83.6. A little bit lower pass rush win rate with him, right? It's 18.2. And size-wise, he's a little bit smaller for a defensive end. He's 6'2", 247, so a little bit smaller that, that could come into play at the next level. What really helped him at the collegiate level, he's got a very, very quick first step. We'll see, if that doesn't level out at the next level, but certainly a great player for Boston College. And, Hafley's very, very familiar with this guy, right? So that helps as well. The only concern I would have with him, the guy, he graded out well everywhere at the collegiate level. Again, the one major concern I have for him at this, edge rusher position is going to be his size, right? 6'2", a little bit undersized at the position. Maybe you throw him at a linebacker position where he's kind of off ball a little bit, and that's where you see his best production from. Maybe, but we'll see. That's who I have highlighted here. And again, this is a guy that's you're not going to have to probably spend a first, maybe late second round pick. I doubt it though. You probably snag him in the third round. We'll see. But again, a guy that's should be available when Green Bay comes to pick.
All
So
right.
Bryson, I'll let you kick it off here with your next guy.
Braden Swinson.
Braden's
6'4", 250 pounds. He's from LSU. Overall grade 83.3, sacks 9, hits 8, hurries 43, pass rush grade 90.3. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
One defensive grade 69.6. That's not good. Pass
No.
rush win rate 22.1.
Yeah, so pretty respectable, but as you mentioned, his run defensive grade, not his strengths. It's slightly below average, 69.6 on that one. But 43 quarterback hurries. Again, this guy knows how to put pressure on the quarterback. He could be one of those type of players. And, Green Bay has one of those defensive lines that, we're constantly rotating guys through. So this may be a guy where he's kind of that pass rush specialist for us. You have him on the field for those downs. Potentially. But I do like his grades on the season. 9 sacks, 43 hurries, pass rush grades of 90.3. And his pass rush win rate, it's pretty decent too at 22.1%. You'd like to improve on the run game a little bit, but not a bad collegiate career for him. Graded out well. And again, a guy that should be available there in the earlier rounds when Green Bay comes around to pick in this year's draft, Bryson. So
Yeah.
that brings us to our fourth guy here on the list. Let's see if I can get this shared out here for us. And that is going to be Princely Uman Mielen. I think I said that right. Probably not. But he graded out at a 91.1 this season for Ole Miss. He had 11 sacks on the season, Bryson, 16 hits, 28 hurries on the quarterback. His pass rush grade's pretty good, 91.5. Run defensive grade, slightly above average, 78.7. His pass rush win rate was 22.8 on the season. Now, size-wise, he's 6'4", 255, so he's got pretty good size to him. Coming out of Ole Miss, got graded out well. Really, throughout his collegiate career, he played well for Ole Miss, so he should be available. He's definitely not going to be a day one guy. He's a guy you can probably snag there in the second, third round. I don't see him making it to the fourth round, especially at a premier position like an edge rusher, but a guy that could be available and could make an impact for Green Bay this coming season. Again, we need to do something, Bryson. We have to do something to improve that pass rush. It was
Yes.
terrible last season. We traded away Preston Smith right before the deadline there. My thought was when they did that, we were going to be able to move in Lucas Van Ness and we were going to see something out of him. But, as you and I both know, that really didn't happen this year. Van Ness, I love him on rundowns. I know he didn't grade out the best according to PFF on there, but watching him play live when we were there at the games, Bryson, I loved watching him on those rundowns. He has a feel for the ball, really flows to it. But on those passing downs, he doesn't have a lot of moves in his arsenal. You'd like to see him improve on that a little bit. He tries to overpower most tackles on those passing runs or those passing downs, and it doesn't work out for him a lot. So we need to see some improvement out of Van Ness there. Maybe he will. Maybe he's in the lab this offseason. We'll see that coming in 2025, but we'll see. Certainly need to address it in the draft. And Bryson, as always,
It's Go Pack Go.